Hi, I'm George Anton. I am the Sydney Chair of the Life Sydney Committee. My background, I work in finance, I work at a company called Shaw & Partners. My background from a Lebanese perspective and heritage, my father from Imor and Allah Yarhamah, my mum from Hachit. So there is the Hitechi connection there. Why are we here today? Life Sydney, Life is part of a global organisation. We look to bring together professionals in the backgrounds of finance, law, technology and consultancy, and try and connect us, the diaspora, network us, and then also highlight the benefits of Lebanon. And that's one of the reasons why we're here tonight. We're trying to highlight how Australian Lebanese can actually assist those back home in our mother country in Lebanon. We know they're struggling and we want to try and help. And the great thing we have across our membership and our Friends of Life, we have a lot of high power, really successful professionals that are helping. So tonight is all about trying to highlight those. I think we've got the panel. You've got Adam Jehar, who is the CEO and one of the founders of EG. He's here to highlight the two charities that he's trying to help. You've got Daisy, who will give us the background about what's happening on the ground today, right now as we see it, and how they are struggling. We've got Anthony and Rahayel. Anthony to talk more about the heritage and where his view of Lebanon, where it all comes from, and his love of Lebanon. And then Rahayel really and George Bussamla to really talk about how we can help from buying Lebanese produce. These are all the ways we're trying to look to help our Lebanese brethren, our Lebanese counterparts. The other big thing for us, we do hold an annual gala dinner. You were lucky enough to attend or see it at least from Anthony's video and YouTube coverage back on June 10 earlier this year. We were able to successfully raise $70,000 that went to scholarships. You will hopefully hear tonight, and you will see from one of the other Life Committee members that we actually were able to transfer $270,000 or just over 270,000 Australian dollars to St. Joseph's University to fund 18 scholarships. Some of those scholars are in the background behind me, but they are to fund their university education going forward across engineering, law, and consultancy. So we're very proud to have been able to achieve that. It took us 4 years to set up over a year to set up the charity, but 4 years to raise the proceeds and be able to be in a position where we did just at the end of last month, we transferred those funds and funded those scholarships. Look, on the annual gala, it is an annual gala and we will have one in 2024. I guess this is a call out to all of our friends of life and anybody that's interested. We are looking for sponsorship for that event in the future, for the 2024 event. If you would like to, please reach out to me or Karen Cardi, who is the chair of the Life Generation Australia charity, and it is for the benefit of them. So please reach out to us. It'll be in June 2024. Thank you.
So my name is Shane Hisham Jaha, and I come from Beirut. I was born in Beirut, and this is my office. And we run a funds management and a property advisory business of some proportion here. We also have a large prop tech business that runs out of this office, and we do all sorts of property syndications. Today we're very happy to host Life, the Lebanese in finance executives here at EG, and they are friends of ours since a long time, and we're very proud that Lebanese people have been so successful in the finance space, not just here in Australia, but everywhere in the world.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. It's a pleasure to have such friendly faces in the audience. It's really great to have you here. I'd like to begin, for starters, acknowledging the traditional owners of the land we live on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and I extend my respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders that are present today. I'd like to start talking about life. Let's see if this is working. Maybe not.
Try the mouse. That might work a lot.
There we go. Easy. Thank you. So as many of you know, Life is a global membership organisation founded in 2009 for professionals in the finance, legal, consulting and tech sectors. And together we empower Lebanese community members and work together for a brighter future for the Lebanese people. Life is headquartered in the UK, but it has 16 chapters worldwide, one of which is here in Sydney. Our pillars in life are four. The first is to connect Lebanese professionals together, to nurture the future generation of Lebanese, to promote the development of the Lebanese economy, and to advocate for economic and social reform. Why join LIFE? I see there's some guests that are here today with us. Well, LIFE gives you access to members' directories, business exchange, global reaches, job boards, business introductions, amongst other things that you can see on the screen. What has LIFE done since 2009? It's supported over 900 students in finance, consulting, and technology, with 956 scholars being offered support and one-on-one mentoring. And to demonstrate the efforts, we've seen that 100% of those scholars who've been supported have received jobs and found jobs shortly after graduating. On that note, LIFE has also offered job creation opportunities. It's supported the Lebanese economy with 2 coding boot camps, providing more than 250 businesses with job support, and even created an HR factory to help those employers find suitable employees. LIFE has also advocated and produced position papers in Lebanon and abroad, especially in DC, through the Middle East Institute to establish more connections with Lebanon and provide more knowledge and education on Lebanon to overseas. Some other milestones that we can see are we have over 1,300 members worldwide. We have raised over $8.9 million in humanitarian relief efforts. We have supported the creation of over 1,100 jobs and raised approximately $13 million in scholarships. And as I said before, 956 scholarships have been provided. Here in Sydney, more locally, LIFE Sydney was launched in 2016. Life Generation Australia was established in 2019 with the tax-deductible DGR status. And recently, we've been able to send money for scholarships, but over the course of 3 years, we've raised just over 300,000 Australian dollars, of which 367.38 cents have been recently transferred to the St. Joseph's University in Beirut for the scholarships of 18 students, of which 15 are engineering students, 2 data science students, and 1 law students. Their names are, not to put a face on them, but at least put a name on them: Emilia Sacker, Freddie Shadid, Gaia Samia, Georgia Saliba, Jacques Habeka, Jean Faraj, Jerome Ibishrawi, Joe Mufakaj, Joey Adel Kadim, Joey Malouf, Kim Hakel, Leah Shamsidin, Omar Nasruddin, Perla Abu Khatib, Sandrine Sleiman, Sarah Skaif, Sleiman Hanna, and Yara Yassin. And you can see behind you, we've situated in the room some scholar profiles from LIFE's Global Scholarship Program for 2023. The names on the panel need no introduction. LIFE Committee, a big thank you extends to George for chairing our LIFE Committee this year. We've got myself, Nabil, Dalal, Ferdi, Rawad, and Nick, who are a member of the committee. And if you ever want to chat about donating some more money to help students or anything else really LIFE related, feel free to approach any one of us.
The idea started on many levels, and the idea was very simple in 2012 to show Lebanon as not seen on TV. So if I ask you, what do you know about Lebanon? Definitely you would answer what the news tells you, unfortunately, and nothing else. So I wanted to show Lebanon, the true Lebanon. I wanted to show the world the true Lebanon in 2012, and reattach all the Lebanese diaspora with their roots, which they probably forgot about or didn't know about. And this is how it started. So it started by documenting Lebanon, filming Lebanon, and going back with thousands of years of history of who we are, what we do, and what makes what Lebanon is. Probably we're not having the most prosperous years in the last 50 or 60 years, definitely, but remember that we are a 7,000-year-old country. So don't we forget, and we should not forget everything that happened before, and what makes Lebanon what Lebanon is. We are in a kind of a turmoil at the moment, but what are we doing about it? And what can we do about it? Rebuilding for the next generations, definitely. Someone once told me, Lebanese is a bomb yet to explode outside of Lebanon. And we know what to do outside of our country. We succeed outside of our country. We are 16 million, super successful outside of our country. And why can't we in Lebanon? That's another debate. We'll do a couple of hours later on. So accordingly, this is how it started in 2012. And then ongoing with lots of initiatives. Went into creating a street food market and the first in the Middle East to unite people around food on the streets and show the world that we invented street food without even knowing. We did shawarma and manaish and knefe and you name it on the street, but the word street food was not too sexy and known back then. And then it evolved to why not, since I'm touring around the villages and this was online, how can I go offline and let people come in and discover what it is? I believe Lebanon, in what Lebanon is smaller than Sydney. So it's 10,452, Sydney is 12,000. So Lebanon, with this small country, has something very big, amazing. So when I ask you where you're from, you would say Australia. But when someone in Lebanon will ask him where he's from, he will tell you from a village. And we are more than 1,300 villages. So more than 1,300 cultures, more than 1,300 different ways of doing food, and so on and so forth. And that makes Lebanon so diverse and so varied. So we need to reconnect to that, know each other more, understand who we are. You know, we're gonna talk about it later on, but two important things. For the ones of you who have kids, there is that feeling you would never understand until you feel it. When you discover the word love when you have a kid. You cannot, you read about it, your parents will tell you about it. It's something else. The minute you have a kid, you're, okay, wait, now I understand. The minute you're gonna visit Lebanon for the first time, if you didn't yet, there is that something that ignites into your heart, that tear that goes down alone, that shiver that you will feel, as much as you would explain about Lebanon, you have to understand it. And the Lebanese DNA ignites into you, and then you would say, okay, now I'm a new person. I would talk about Lebanon differently. I would think about Lebanon differently, and so on. So accordingly, why Lebanon? Of all these things, started in 2012 and ongoing for the next 12 years with lots of evolutions we will talk about, and definitely supporting the Lebanese family in the village. It's very important to keep the family in the village. What can we do to keep people in the villages? We're not New York, we're not Sydney, we're not any other country on earth, we're not Dubai, we do not look like any, and we cannot be. And probably one of our problems is we try to be something or someone we're not. Back to the villages and back to heritage. And this is the things I've been working on lately. Quickly, why am I here? Because I want to reconnect Lebanon with the world, reconnect 16 million success stories with Lebanon, let Lebanese understand that whoever left didn't leave us and is not picking money on the trees. They are working very hard and still think of Lebanon, and connecting us with our roots by giving to Lebanon, buying for Lebanon. Lebanon does not beg for money. Lebanon ma biyishhad, let me put it as is. We support the economy by buying from it, supporting it, educating it, giving us Lebanese what we deserve. I'm back home to protect the land for you. You're around to talk about us more. And us Lebanese, we can become, and we are, probably one of the greatest nations on earth. So how can we balance and work together for a better future? Allow me, but I have a complete different opinion of kind of the negativity we see in Lebanon, and I always see the glass half full. Definitely there are problems, definitely. We're not living somewhere away from Lebanon, but yet what did happen in the last couple of years, especially in the last 2 years or 3 years. I can tell you there are more than 200 factories that have opened. I can tell you that the USAID have invested more than $750 million in Lebanon. I can tell you that the export has went 15 times more. I can tell you that for the last 10 years we couldn't export honey to Europe, and now for the first time in the last 3 months we are exporting 1 container a month to Europe with all the lobbying that happened. I can tell you that Australia is importing from Lebanon lots of produce from the villages. The villages are developing there. We want to create more. I work with an institution that supports more than 95 cooperative of ladies in the villages, and each cooperative has more than 25 ladies in the village implemented to produce something we call, definitely you know, Moune. And money now is the trend around the world, and Lebanese are buying more money. I've been touring around. We're already exporting to Canada. We're already exporting to the States. Hercola is importing to Australia. We've opened a dukan, a little shop in France to import from Lebanon, and now we're doing it in a different way, and so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, there are problems. If we continue on looking at them, I'm not sure we're gonna evolve. There are organizations I work with, exactly like you said, of which Caritas, of which hidden ones that even don't have an Instagram account with 4,000 and 5,000 meals every day, and lots of them. What we can do is answer this question: what can we change? Can we change the political system? No. Can we change how the way they think on stealing us? No. What can we change? And accordingly, let's put an effort to do that. So in what I see, yes, let me say something. Let's say Lebanon has been divided into two. Yes, there are problems, but alhamdulillah, until today, I'm not sure someone is dying from hunger in Lebanon, because the support is great. But on the other hand, it's the most country that has solar panels per capita, is the most country that has solar, that has electric cars per capita. All the villages, not all the villages, but a big chunk of the villages, and you can watch them on my YouTube, have been implemented with solar panels. Now the USAID is investing in a $32 million project called Inara to invest with all the villages of Lebanon to give them solar energy, and so on. So what I'm trying to say, to make a constructive interaction, is what can we do about it? If you work into food, buy food. If you work into IT, let us in Lebanon do your phone calls or your development. If you work into graphic design, we can work from Lebanon. If you work in importing, please import. Anything you work in, just say, I want to invest into expanding my business with the support of Lebanon. And this way, you give directly to the individuals, and you do not give to the government. And this way, the individuals would just continue on living. Just a last comment. Probably in the last years, or in the way we think as Lebanese, I'm going to say it in Arabic, ما تعطل هم بيبعتوا لي مصاري من برا. So lots of Lebanese would say, I have my relative are outside. No worries, they will send us our support at the end of the month. And this made us reach, or made Lebanon reach a certain point where I'm not worrying about it, they can send me at the end of the month. No, buy from them and let them work hard for it. And this is how they understand the meaning of life, exactly the way you work 9 hours a day to reach the success you're reaching. And this is how can we implement step by step in education, in mindset, and then a building of a country. I always work and focus on it. Yeah. Look at who we are, look at what we do. I publish around 2 to 3 videos a day on my YouTube, so we reach 5,600 videos to date. And all of them are about success stories. All of them are about things probably not filmed. All of them are about little tiny things. One, I film a taxi driver if he's Lebanese. I film a manouche shop if he's Lebanese. So I would go into filming anyone, not for them to talk about them more, but for them to explain the situation they are in, what they do, how hard they are. And that taxi driver that has worked for 11 years and then left taxi driving and now has 25 restaurants. And the other one that was a taxi driver and today owns 1,000 cars, and how hard. And that third one that came on a 40-day trip from Lebanon and how today he is successful, and so on. So on the YouTube translated in Arabic, I try to give an opinion for Lebanese to watch what's happening around the world, and for the world to watch what's happening in Lebanon. I'm coming back to Lebanon, and we're going to do lots of already planned trips around Lebanon, and on how can we buy more, how can we do more. I'm working now with a company, you're going to hear about it anyway on YouTube, that sent us 5,000 jars, empty jars. They usually put something else into it. So we emptied the jars, cleaned the jars, and then sent them to 5 communities around Lebanon, 5 ladies around Lebanon, and bought 500 from each, or 1,000 depending on how much they can do, of products, mouni, murabba, za'atar, etc., which we're going to buy completely, take all the risk, and then sell in the supermarkets in Lebanon with a big stand saying, buy more from the villages, and build on it. Next step is going to be exporting to UAE. Third step is going to be taking it over the world. So that company, which is investing in the 5,000 jars and building all the community around Lebanon, has done that little much. So how about we do more and more and more and more, and this is how it will build up. So I'm not sure anything is going to happen in the upcoming months. Nothing is going to change on the ground. Meanwhile, the youth want to change and want to evolve and want to get educated and want to create lots of things. There are micro happenings happening every single day. There are employments on a small scale. There are work on a small scale. You know, let me tell you something. I've traveled 5 weeks ago, and on my way out, I felt that, okay, I am going because Middle East stopped flying, etc., 8 flights, etc. But I was going alone, so everybody was in Lebanon. Nobody was alarmed to just leave and go. I've met the Lebanese ambassador in Cyprus, and after the crisis of 2019, so I went there and said, wow, you're all Lebanese are here. She said, no, they're coming back because they do not know what to expect, and nothing is better than living in Lebanon despite all the problems. And then UAE, with the high rise of prices, lots of people are coming back. So what I'm trying to say, everyone finds a refuge somewhere, in case in Lebanon or outside of Lebanon. There is hope in Lebanon, and we're staying in Lebanon to protect the land, and there are opportunities happening in lots of factories I'm visiting on a weekly basis, and lots of new openings and lots of ideas, of which probably one of the shops we've done that is called Made by Nature, that supports more than 650 families, that has cost in the last year just to build $200,000, open today, as we speak today exactly, with more than 4,000 products. And we're educating people. When we called everyone and said, come in, we're going to export. Out of 4,000 products, we could export 20 only. So we're helping and supporting with the help of Reach 961 and company in Lebanon to how to export, how to do the labeling, how to write on the product, how to fill up the product. So lots of work has to be done. I'm being very, very positive and not talking about what happened, but what I saw now is Nutella when we have hazelnut made in Lebanon. Yeah. So start by buying only Lebanese and ask them to buy Lebanese. What I saw is black bags filled with trash. Yes, thank you so much, but let's educate Lebanese about recycling, and let's have 4 bags of different colors. Lebanese do not know. When they throw out of the window, they have been educated by their parents this way.
There is a change that's happening, but it's slow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yes, we can change when we talk about politics, but we need to educate. We need to go very deep. It needs some time. We talk about educating probably 10 or 20 or 30 students and pay high tuition for universities. Let's go down a notch and let's educate 300 and 500 and 600 just to get the brevet, troisième, terminal, whatever you call it in English, instead of going into public schools that are not up to standard. So what I'm asking today for every single one that wants to work with Lebanon, do not think Australian. Lebanese do not know. Not many speak the English I speak in Lebanon, okay? So Lebanese do not know. Go into educating them how to recycle. Go into educating them how to drive. Lebanese do not know that they need to drive between the lines. They think that the line needs to be in the middle of the car. So go that deep. Go that deep, and shway, we can build up. I've always said, we have the dues and the duty to give you a product مش مغشوش, that is up to standard, and this we need to educate Lebanese to do so. And we ask you kindly to buy this product. And just to finalize my thing.
Are we there yet? Are we there where we can trust the product that's coming from?
We need education. Not all are trustable. No, not all are trustable. Out of 4,000 products, I give back lots of things. So we've worked with Harcola, and thanks for that, and thanks for what they're doing. We're importing products, okay? The first impression was, wow, they are expensive. Definitely they're going to be expensive. They're handmade, they're artisanal, they're double the price. So we need to educate the local community to buy, not to say, عم بيسرقونا أكيد غاليين. No, it's normal for it to be expensive in a way or another. And then I've always said, you know, we're 16 million. If every single Lebanese would eat 1 manouche a day, call it manouche of the day, and every day on your way to work, imagine 16 million manouche za'atar per day. That's the economy. Don't ما بدنا بقى أكتر من هيك. وقفنا الاقتصاد على جري. So it comes with the little tiny things. When we open a bottle of wine, and our wines are the best, we export only 4.5 million bottles of wine per year. We need to export up to 11 million. How many wineries do we have in Lebanon? 85 in that tiny little country. And the French have confirmed we have the best grapes in the world in Ayneta at 1,900. So accordingly, when that bottle of wine arrives and we say, no, probably it's sexier to drink Italian. لا معلش drink Lebanese and support the economy in a simplest way since you're paying anyway. So these little tiny habits come in us educated people, educating our friends and our surroundings on how can you make a change without even touching your pocket. Since you're drinking, drink Lebanese. Since you're eating, eat Lebanese. Since you're supporting, do it. And whenever you're going to Europe, Europe is probably the most beautiful continent, just pass 3 days to Lebanon and do not go to the village. Visit the village, but go to Lebanon. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Australia, for loving me. Thank you for making me come again and again, and already planned coming next year. I love it every time more and more for the 5 weeks already leaving in 3 days. One idea came now out of everything. I'm not political, but probably we can lobby all together with all the life happenings around the world. When we say we need to elect someone in Lebanon, or we need to vote for Lebanon, vote for who? So everyone is voting for usually what granddad says or what dad says, and we end up probably electing the same or whoever we think has more money than the others. And with all due respect, what does the diaspora know about Lebanese politics other than what the news, LBC or MTV or Future or whatever, tells you what you want to hear, and all they say is negativity, you know. So how about we commute all together and we lobby all together around the world to elect, to find someone that represents the diaspora or that the diaspora puts in and probably can understand what Lebanon is and does and gives justice to Lebanon.
You've got the job.
And with all due respect to the 9 that are new or we elected, what do they know about politics? What is the maturity of politics they have? Again, I'm not talking politics, but yes, in the MPs would make a change. So let's start by working all together into getting better, evolving people that can run the country. I've been asked a lot, would you come and run for being a minister or being anyone in the country? My answer is, the only thing that would bring Lebanon alone again to what it is running it as a company. And the minute we run it as a company, I would love to, if we come, me and a team and friends, and we all together sit on the table to run Lebanon as one company, exactly like the mayors. I've met 6 already. The mayors of all the towns around Sydney run their cities. Yes, we will make Lebanon the best country in the world in no time. In no time. So probably we can work on that. And meanwhile, remember, you need to visit Lebanon. There is something that happens inside that we cannot explain.